Ladies and gentlemen, Primetime CP23 here, back with another Diablo 3 video. Today, we're looking at the start of the season for the Necromancer. This is going to be the tail end of a Greater F20 clear, and it's going to be a little rough when we get to the Rift Guardian, but we'll talk about that more as we go. So, as you can see here, we're about halfway through the Rift. We don't have just a ton of single target damage, but we can do a little bit of damage as we go. Kind of just have to go with it until Land of the Dead is up. I'm gonna pop it here. Land of the Dead, of course, you just spam. Okay, this should be good. Now we've got an extra Land of the Dead. As you can see, we are using Corpse Explosion. And so what this is this is the 4-piece bonus of the Grace of Anarius set, as we are trying to clear this GR20. Basically, when we pop Bone Armor, we kill everything or most everything around us, and then we kill what's left using Corpse Explosion. It's pretty straightforward, but at the same time, it's still satisfying. Try and drag that elite down here with us. We don't really even need to fight this elite, so we're just going to move on. Because realistically, we get enough damage, we get enough rift progression just from the AoE. Basically what you're going to be doing as far as gearing goes is you're going to be looking for cooldown everywhere, because that's how Necromancers work, is they use a lot of cooldown. And that goes for every build, not just this one. Not just Grace of Anarius. Every single Necromancer build needs cooldown. I've actually not played Necromancer as my main class in a season yet. I'm not going to this season either. I don't really want to, you know? Now this, as long as we've timed it as we have, so that we have Land of the Dead up, we can spam Land of the Dead, or spam Corpse Explosion, and that's more than half of the Guardian's health. One thing that I just noticed, because I haven't had the need for it yet in this Rift, so it didn't really occur to me until just now, is that we're not actually using Devour. And the reason for that is because I wasn't paying attention, just to be honest with you. I completely forgot that I had Devour even on my bar. Which shows you how little you need this. Got a little rough there for a minute when Land of the Dead expired, since we only did half of the Guardian's health before Land of the Dead expired. But as you can see, we just finished this rift. We didn't die. And it was generally kind of easy mode. Now, the reason for that is twofold. Number one, we're using a Crispin sentence because it's damn near essential for every Necromancer build anyway. So you're going to be looking to get it pretty early. I don't know the exact upgrade rates and things like that for this ring, so it may not be realistic that you have this when you're doing your GR20, and I do apologize about that. But the Necromancer 2-piece bonuses are useless, and that's the case. This is the third season we've had a Necromancer, and this is the third season that we've had a useless Necromancer 4-piece bonus. I'm sorry, but it's true. So, with the Inarius set, bone armor damage is increased by 1,000%, which is helpful. As you can see, that's how I did it, is I popped bone armor and a bunch of things died. I used those corpses with Corpse Explosion to kill the rest of the groups. And then bone armor grants an additional 2% damage reduction per enemy hit. And that's the little stacks on bone armor that you get. Up to 10 stacks. So up to 20% damage reduction. Extra damage reduction. The other thing is in the cube, we are using Raylina's Shadow Hook. Every point of max essence increases your damage by 0.5%, and Bone Spikes generates additional essence, which doesn't really matter. Then we've got Gold Wrap and Ring of Royal Grandeur, both items that don't matter in this scenario. Basically, Raylina's Shadow Hook for the same reason as Crispin's Sentence, because you're going to want to get one as early as possible, because it is a very, very, very potent damage buff. And Necromancer may be arguably the best character in the game, or the best class in the game, but early season, it struggles a lot. Especially the way that Inarius works. I think if you're playing Necromancer this season, or plan to main Necromancer, I think it would probably be worth it to just start out with a Wizard, or possibly even a Witch Doctor, and then just move over to Necromancer, because Necromancer's got it rough, plain and simple. As for our skills, we're using Bone Spikes with the Frost Spikes rune. Bone Armor with Dislocation. This is our primary damage dealer and the cause of our stun. Land of the Dead with Frozen Lands and Corpse Explosion are what's going to kill the Rift Guardian, and probably even several elite packs along the way in the Rift. Blood Rush, just a movement ability. Any of these runes is viable. Molting may be the best option, simply because it leaves a corpse at the original location, and plain and simple, Bone Rush or Blood Rush, blow up the corpse. It'll create some more corpses. and lather, rinse, repeat. And then we've got Devour with the Voracious rune, which is entirely unnecessary and can be replaced with anything. Maybe Aura of Frailty would be a good way to go. Because of the way that this build is now working, it doesn't have a spender. I mean, Bone Armor is technically a spender, but doesn't really count. Then for passives, we got Final Service. We don't have any pets, so we just have the Cheat Death passive. The secondary effect of it doesn't matter. Overwhelming Essence. This is basically a 20% damage buff because of Raylena's Shadow Hook. Standalone, big toughness boost because we have no minions. And then Serration to give Bone Spikes some more damage. You could probably replace this with something like either Spreading Malediction or possibly even Blood as Power. Which kind of depends on your opinion and your play styles. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, no Paragons, only the 50 Paragon in movement speed, because otherwise testing would suck. But that's it. That's going to do it for today's video. Marquee level gems. This is using 2 legendaries, Crisbin's Sentence and Raylena's Shadow Hook. I'm sorry, I can't do Necromancer with less than 2 legendaries. I just can't. Because it's horrible. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, it's Primetime CP23, and I'm out.